Salakia. I got the precept, but I think I want to continue reading. Salakia, if you think I got the precept, but I want to continue to read Psalms 10, because the precept in Psalm 49 will kind of add more to it. So let me go back into Psalms 10, which probably we left off from. I believe it's verse 7 where I start continuing, I believe, or verse 7. And it goes on to say, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Like it goes back to say in Psalm 58 and verses 3. Right? They go astray as soon as they be born speaking lies. So how could they tell you anything that is true for you to believe if this is their nature, telling you that how the Messiah is a white man and how all could be saved and how the Israelis are the true children on the land today and the whole nation is gathered up together. If the nation is gathered up together, the prophecy would have been fulfilled. You'd have received the new covenant, and there would be no one dying in the children in Israel. There will be no wars against you, and so on and so forth. But you know what? You know who failed to search those things out? Jakes. They fully well believe in their master's doctrine and ignore the fact what I just bring out. They fail to do their own research. This is the mindset of the Jakes today. The mindset of Jakes today. This is how they come about. For some reason, and when they show them this information, watch me, they're more vexed than anything else. They might want to unalive you for their master's sake, for simply you bringing out the truth. Now I understand how the prophets would have feel back then, yes? Way, boy. Now thinking about it, just imagine you come to your people and tell them, hey, repent, come out of that wickedness, come out of that custom that you're going into, that's not of the Father, not of Yahweh Shem Shai. And they want to unalive you for telling them the truth. Way, boy. It's a hard pill, yes. Anyways, let me continue. Psalms 10 and verses 8. It says, he setteth in a lurking places of the village, in a secret place, that he murder the innocent. Now again, if you understand, this is the mindset. What the Bible say? What Isaiah 26 10 say? Let fear be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In land of the uprightness will he deal unjustly. Who is he going to be dealing unjustly with? Aside from the other nations, Jakes. More so Jakes. You hear what it says? In the secret place that he murdered the innocent. Wow. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Who are the poor of the earth today? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're not in trouble like other. We're not in trouble like they're not in trouble like other men. The other nations not going through what we're going through on a daily basis, being unalive right before our eyes with no justice. Have the system against you. So guess what? The people who unalive you got a slap on the wrist. A 3 months pay suspension, where you could literally leave the country and go where you want to go. And then when they come back now, like a clean slate. Nobody remembers what took place then. This is the mindset. This is how they operate. They use a very system against us. Come on. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Verse 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor, you see. He that catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Deception into a trap. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He had said in his heart, power hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. This is his mindset of the so-called Edomites. So if it's their nature, why would you try to save somebody like that? This is where Christians come off so wrong and they don't understand. This is not just prophecy. This is characteristics of an individual, whether we like it or not, in any century, in any timeline. This is the exact nature of these people. Why try to save them? It is baffled me because these same people, using the same format and same weapons of war and same technology and same mindset. Let's read. Because of their blessings, are become the kings of the earth today. Let's read that precept in 9 chapter 24. The same wicked, let's read. It says, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, and if not, where and who is he? Who have the power on the earth today to cover the faces of the judges? Who are the judges? The prophets, apostles, and even Yahweh HaMashiach when they go into it. Who have the power to cover the judges and the faces of the judges today without any repercussion or lashback from it? It's the only people who is Edomites. We literally have them caught in 4K, changing the images to a white Messiah and a white image. This is their mindset. This is what they do. More deception unto more deception. And guess what? Jake will fully, head and tail, believe every single thing that they have said. Matter of fact, if we bring out a fact and the so-called white man doesn't justify that fact, they wouldn't believe it. And it's a sad case. This is what we call proper delusion. Y'all are fully under a strong delusion and you're not seeing it. When somebody under a delusion, can they see it? It's only when somebody could reveal to them at a certain point that for them to really come out of it, then they will be able to receive to see it after. This is how these things work. And you're under a very strong delusion. Which is why our people are so confused today. Because many of our people don't even know who is our power and who we are as a people. We still call ourselves Africans. We still call ourselves blacks and many other names, wanting to be a different people and all kind. Come on. At this point, we're still following after their religions and customs and cultures. Why are we doing that? We have a culture and a custom which is under Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. The very Bible is written for us. But yet it's still one, and we could see it in it because we have 1,000 times more understanding than these people in it. Yet, they still want to join hands with the enemy and let them teach you your Bible. The more I talk about this and go into this, the more I realize how foolish this thing is. Hey, these people truly deceive us. Even I was deceived. I was in Christianity as well before I come into this truth. I was in this foolish doctrine. You can eat pork and this and that and don't worry about sinning. Imagine your pastor can't wait. You know, wait boy, I could do it a provision and a stew pork. You know what? I had to buy some conchs, you know. I had to buy some conchs. Yeah, but we had to make a seafood boil. What? That is their mindset. When you tell them about it, they can't fight you, they can't win you anything. But guess what? Guess what? You're still wrong. I telling you, anything to do wickedness. Many jakes follow after the so-called wicked. That's why they themselves will title us a wicked Jake. There's not the border of wicked. There's not the Edomites that can't be saved. But many of our jakes are titled wicked because of following after the so-called Edomites and the doctrine and the ways and philosophies. Adapting to what? Their wicked agendas and even going about doing the exact same thing and worse. Unaliving their own people. For the sake of what? Wealth. Sorry, just no, let it go back now, going back. In order to keep their system, and as you guys, in order to keep their system, they would need weapons because they don't have Yahweh Shem Yahushai by their side. So guess what? They need resources, and in order to get those resources, they have to have the weapons to what? Get those resources, and also to protect their land and their dwelling place. But we know Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as mentioned, is going to throw it down, whether they like it or not. But we got a precept in Psalms again, chapter 49. I was going into chapter 49, which we're going to get, and verse 11. And it says, the inward thought, their mind, the inward thought, is that their house shall continue forever, right? Is that the house shall continue forever, and their dwelling place is the dwelling place to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And we see that many times happening, but how could they? We gotta understand the behaviors of them. And also, this is why Micah chapter says, 2 and verses 1 says this. Let me get a precept immediately, because this is a lovely one to add to it. It says, woe to them that devise iniquities and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. Who has the power to practice wickedness on the earth today without any repercussions at the point in time? It's so-called Esau Edom, because they were given the earth. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. And who is that violent man who is blessed with the sword? So-called Esau Edom, right? So it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. That's who? Esau Edom. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. It was given to them. Now, how do you know of them? Let's keep reading. It tells you, they covet fields and take them by violence. By thy sword thou shalt live. And he's going to we got a precept. I don't know butcher it. The same Genesis 27 and verse 39. It says, verse 39. Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So his dwelling is going to be the fatness of the earth. How? And by thy sword thou shalt live. By his sword. So going back into Micah chapter 2 and verses 2, basically. They covered field and take them by violence, and house. So we know how they are going to cover fields. And taking them by violence is their nature. And house and take them away. See? So they oppress a man and his house, and his land, and his place, his dwelling place. Even a man and his heritage, which they have done today. What did they do? They went into our land, make a whole set of laws and legislation against our people, and call themselves Israeli. Literally, the definition of oppressing a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, because who has to inherit the land today? The true children of Israel. Who is on the land right now? Esau Edom. Let's keep going. Therefore, I'll come back with this after. This is a nice piece to close off with, so I'll come back with this after. So we need to keep in mind that the nature of the wicked is in his name, the border of wickedness. Hence the reason why Daniel out of his own mouth says, look at precept immediately, Daniel chapter 12 and verses 10. Right, it says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked, you see, but because the wicked has no inclusion in being purified or cleansed or being whole or new, they are going to remain wicked until their destruction. That's why it says, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So if the wicked, again, more precepts to prove that the wicked cannot receive righteousness. Why are you trying to save them? Is it that you're trying to bend the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and to make him go back and say, you know what, I will change these people? No. No. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the things that are going to my lips. If he said that they cannot be saved and they are going to be destroyed, then they cannot be saved and they are going to be destroyed. That's it. There's nothing to it. This is why they are looking, they're stemming for a rude awakening because of their deeds against the Asherah. And that rude awakening, let's get a precept in Psalms verses chapter 7. And we'll close it from there. Psalm 7 and verses 8. Let's read. It says, Yahweh shall judge the people. Judge me, O Yahweh, according to my righteousness and according to my integrity that is in me. And it continues to say, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. See, it says, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and reign. My defense is of power, which saveth the upright in heart. Power judgeth the righteous, and power is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He had bent his bow and made it ready. And we know many of the archers have already made up their minds to deal with the America and Israel, which right now is hosted and held by so-called Edomites. We know many other nations hate them so much that in time come that they will release that fire. Because what the Bible says, to call the archers. Let me get a precept. I think it's in Jeremiah, I believe. So bear with me. Jeremiah 30. Wow, let me get it. Jeremiah 30, I'm sure. I can't find the precept now. I can imagine my brain. Alright. Call the archers. I'll just type in archers and then let's see. Right, so now you go back in that area then and see if you find it. If I can get Salakia, alright. Oh, Psalm 50, okay. Call together the archers against Babylon, you see? It says, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done. Do unto her, for she had been proud against the Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. That's what I wanted to go into. So going back into the precept in Psalm chapter 7, we know that these other nations are the very archers that the Father has set up. So when that time comes, that judgment is going to come from these other nations. And not to mention Yahweh and the chariots and the elect men after that time. So when it says power is right, it says what? He had bent his arrow and made it ready. He has already set up the other nation to what? To destroy the very one who had rulership over the earth today. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So their judgment is going to be very great. Let's keep going. He had also prepared for him the instrument of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. See? He had also prepared for him the instrument of death. He said, behold, he travailed with iniquity, and he had conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. So the exact same thing that he has created or designed to unalive Jakes and many other people, it's going to fall back onto him. His mischief shall return upon his own head, like I said, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. See? As it goes on to say in verse 17, I will praise Yahweh according to his righteousness, and I will sing praises to the name of Yahweh, the Most High. So you see? So, this is what's going to happen to them. This is their judgment. They would not be able to remove their necks from this one. Because according to the scriptures in Micah, exactly. Micah said like 2 and verses 3. Well, I do not. Okay. As we go on, this last precept we are going to be very close. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye be haughtily, for this time is evil. They are going to be punished for their wickedness against the children of Israel, against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yehoshai's people and his prophets and his elect. They are going to be punished heavily for their wickedness against the land, for the defiling the land, for polluting the earth. They are going to be punished heavily with no remorse. So if this is their portion and they are not going to be saved, stop trying to save them. I hope this lesson is indeed edifying. We say Shalom Yasharala, Kal Halal Yam Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. With double honor to the apostles and prophets and elders of James Campbell to us great minister for the bring forward the 100% truth that have been correctly edified under. Shalom to the elect, Tabernacle of David. And Robertus are reacting to you. Shalom.